Hello there, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my experience with PCOS, my diagnosis, and the difficulty of conception after the diagnosis. So about 3 years before we conceived our child, I was diagnosed with PCOS. Now, I did not know I have this illness. This stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome. So I was on birth control for a very long time, I'd say about 8 years. And one day my husband and I talked and we decided we're ready to become parents. We want to start trying. And we thought it's going to be easy. We were going to get off birth control and we're just going to get pregnant. Well, that didn't happen. Okay, it was a very difficult journey for us. And 6 months into trying, we realized something is wrong. So I went ahead, made an appointment, talked to my OBGYN, and they suspected that I have PCOS. So I thought they're gonna put me in some sort of treatment. I thought this illness could be cured, but unfortunately, you cannot really cure the illness. You can only alleviate the symptoms. So instead of giving me a treatment plan, they suggested, we can help you regulate your period because that is the biggest challenge with PCOS. You're not regulating your period, you're not ovulating. And they said we could put you on birth control. And I thought, well, that's not gonna help because I'm trying to get pregnant. So they referred me to a fertility doctor. Now, when you go to a fertility doctor, they're not really concerned about trying to help you heal or address the illness. They're concerned about trying to get you pregnant. So as soon as we got there, they run a lot of tests, not just on me, but for my husband as well. They did a sperm analysis. He's healthy, he's fine. But I definitely had some problems. About 3 weeks into the appointment, I was going back and forth. And, they definitely, it was official. I had PCOS. So they put me in a plan. Every month I had to be induced. So I had to be, basically what they're doing is they give me shots or I give myself the shot. I went ahead, pick up the medication. I had to give myself shots in the stomach area and that will induce the ovulation. So with people like me who have PCOS, we don't ovulate regularly. And there were times where you don't get your monthly visitor for a long time. For me, it was several months at a time. So yes, I was getting those shots, and I was basically forcing my body to ovulate. And yes, I was ovulating. And you have a very short period of a time frame where you check and you're like ovulating. That's when you can try, you know, to get pregnant. And this process lasted for about a year, and it was a very stressful process. It was a roller coaster of emotions. Like every time you get that shot to induce your ovulation, you're like kind of crazy, to be honest with you. No, not kind of. I was crazy. I was going crazy. You just have all the symptoms. You get so bloated, so emotional. It was terrible. But we did that for a year, and every time, of course, you have a very short period, about 3 days, to try, and hopefully you hit the jackpot and then you get pregnant. But that didn't happen for us. And so we went back. They gave me a supplement, which, to be very honest, helped a lot. And this supplement is called Ovacitol. I am still taking it, and it's still helping me. And so, yes, we told them this is not working, and they suggested we add another plan to our existing plan, and that is to do an IUI. So we made an appointment for that. For some reason, the day of the schedule that we do for the IUI, we decided to cancel that appointment. We just did not feel right about it. I think all that stress got into me and my husband also. Instead of enjoying the process of trying to conceive, we were just both exhausted, to be honest with you. And when we heard the doctor say, if this doesn't work, you may have to start thinking about IVF. Now, if you live in the United States, I don't know what it's like in other nations or countries, but here in the US, all that treatment, except for the diagnostic part of the treatment, that's not covered by your insurance. You pay that out of pocket. Everything is expensive. Every time you go, the medication, everything, you pay for that. And we thought, first of all, we can't afford it. It's very expensive. And second of all, are we ready for that type of stress? Like, can we really go through that? And how do we feel about it? And So we decided to sit down and have a chat about it, like a deep conversation, not just a chat. We talked about it. What do we want to do? And we both agreed that um, we have a lot of faith in God, that He is the provider and He is the creator. If it is His plan for us to have a child, that He will give that to us. So we decided, you know what, let's just stop everything altogether. Let's just stop, relax, let's pray, let's ask God. I think we got so ahead of ourselves, we forgot about what's most important, and we decided to stop. The only thing that I did not stop was the Ovasitol. Now, this is not a medication, this is a supplement, and this is supposed to help with the insulin resistance. With PCOS, not only you are very irregular in your period, you're not ovulating, you also have some symptoms when it comes to the weight management. You start gaining a lot of weight and you become insulin resistant and if you don't do anything about that, you could actually end up getting diabetes. It just goes on and on and on. So I kept taking the Ovasitol and I stopped everything else. I stopped the monthly shots, the medication. I just stopped that. And I decided I'm gonna live a little better, change the lifestyle, sleep well, exercise, eat better. And you know what? I'm just gonna make love to my husband and not think about that process as a job, because you do end up starting to think of it like it is a job. Like, okay, I'm gonna do it in 3 days because I'm ovulating in these days, and I gotta do it this day. It is so stressful, not just for me, but for my husband. It was a stressful process, and you know what? We decided we're gonna take it slow, and we're gonna pray. That's the most important. We're gonna ask God, and you know what? We're just gonna enjoy the process. Like, think of this as a journey that we both have to enjoy, instead of thinking of it as we have to do something. And we did that. And I remember this, and I will never forget this experience. It was the day before Mother's Day. The Mother's Day was that weekend, and it was a Friday, and everybody was, celebrating at work. I was probably one of the youngest employee at that work, where I was working at that time. And of course, one of our directors was actually going around the cubicles, giving all of the moms roses. And of course, I was kind of sad, I was like, oh, I will probably never become a mom. It's so sad. And she actually stopped by my cubicle and she gave me a rose and she said, don't worry about it. One day you're going to become a mom. We believe in that. We're praying for you. Now, this place that I worked at, they're probably the most like supportive people ever. They know what I was going through, what my husband and I were going through, and they really were very supportive of us. They were praying for us. And when she gave me that rose, I thought, wow, that just touched my heart. Like, and yes, you go through that process, and it's not easy. And the fact that she came over and she gave me a rose and she said, "You're gonna become a mom," and we believe in that, and we're so we're excited for you. Guess what? That weekend, that Mother's Day weekend, for some reason, I just thought, you know what? I should check. I should just check. And I checked, and guess what? I am pregnant. Like, I was so shocked. I wasn't doing the treatment. I was just enjoying myself. Me and my husband were just spending our time together. We're just not stressing about it. And I got pregnant. But I think what really helped us get pregnant, God really did give us a gift, gave us a gift. And we just both kind of sat there in our bedside. We couldn't believe it. We were both kind of like, oh, wow. And that hit you. Wow, we're going to become parents. So that was my experience with PCOS. Now our son is almost 6, and conception with PCOS is possible. It is difficult, yes. And I don't think I'm gonna have another one because it is, for me, it's life is a gift, and God gives life, and it's really up to him if he wants to give that life. And yes, I still have PCOS. I'm still struggling with it. The weight management is definitely one of the biggest challenge. And I'm still taking Ovasitol. This is not sponsored by them. I'm a very small. I just started doing this YouTubing, and so yes, but I've been taking that supplement, and it really does help. Of course, lifestyle changes, but I can't possibly talk about that. I'm not exactly living a very healthy lifestyle, but the Ovasitol supplement really helps me, and I'm still taking that every single day. And if you go to your OBGYN, they will most likely put you in some type of birth control to regulate the period. But I'd say that's probably not the best approach. This is just based on my experience. But if you're trying to conceive and you're going through a lot of stress because you have PCOS, please don't get discouraged. My best advice to you if you're trying to conceive and you have PCOS is to, of course, you have to talk to your doctor. Every situation is different. Mine is different. I have a friend who has it. Her situation is different. We all have very different medical needs. Make sure to talk to your healthcare professionals. At the end of the day, God gives life, and if you asked, He shall provide if that is His will for you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you find this helpful. If you have any question, just add a comment. I will be more than happy to answer that question. Thank you for watching. See you on my next one. Bye.